Take it. I want to take it.
Right. Welcome out to another episode of the Pirates Cove podcast. This will be episode number 99. And today we're going to talk Rockport-Fulton Pirate baseball. We had the head coach here a few days ago. Now we're going to have two of his baseball players. They're two juniors. First of all, I've got junior Isaiah Elizondo. Isaiah, how you doing this evening?
Very good.
Thank you for coming out and spending some time with me here on the Cove. And then, of course, we've got junior Jordan Gibson. Jordy, how you doing this evening?
Very good.
Thank you guys for coming out, spending some time with me here to talk a little bit of Rockport-Fulton Pirate baseball. First of all, I want to, say that you guys got one more year as a fan. I'm happy that you guys are coming back. It's been special. I'm going to tell you that baseball wasn't the top of my list when I was young. I played basketball. That was my sport. I played soccer, but baseball didn't come natural to me. I love watching it, but man, just the curve and all that other stuff when I was a kid just wasn't my thing, man. Just wasn't very good at it. I played it, but I wasn't very good. So I just decided I'd watch it. So I appreciate when I watch you guys play the game, but it has grown on me, guys, this last couple of years. I love coming out there and watching you guys play and live streaming your games. So if you're ready, I got some questions for you guys. And I'll start off here with the first question. And I've got three questions that I'm going to ask both you guys to answer. And then I got a few for Jordy and I got a few for Isaiah. So the first one I'm going to ask, guys, is last year you guys had a successful season. You went to the third round as sophomores, which I would call a real successful season. So coming into this year, with a younger team, you guys aren't seniors, but you're basically the leaders. You've been on the team for 3 years. What was your mentality, not the team, but your mentality coming into 2023 with the successful season that you guys had last year? Jordy, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, last year was a great season. I mean, we lost half of our team, but we know we're young coming into it. We just need to do what we do the best. Anything can happen when you make the playoffs, so that's the goal here.
Yeah, absolutely. I was impressed. I saw two games already that I've streamed, and I love those younger guys. They're real impressive, and I think when you talk about Rockport-Fulton Pirate baseball, you got to get excited with what we're doing this year, what we've already accomplished, and what the future looks like for us, because we've got some young guys that can play some baseball. So I'm really excited as a Pirate fan to watch this year and the next couple of years to see what this program is going to do. Isaiah, I'll ask you the same question. What was your mentality coming into 2023?
No, well, at the beginning, obviously it was kind of stressful because we were always able to rely on the other guys, and it was the older guys, and they were the leaders of the team. We kind of just stood and we held our own, but we had those guys to look up to and look after, and they were always looking after us and taking care of us. But when we started, it was like, well, this is a completely new team now. And I mean, obviously we lost the 5 seniors, but we also ended up losing Javi and Ace. So me and Gibby are the only two returning starters from last year. And so with that, at the beginning was a little stressful because it was a completely different team, but it's a new team, and that's kind of the motto that we're going with. Is we can't dwell on the past, and we gotta. This is us now. Like, this is what we got, and this is our team now. Like, this is our team. That was their team. Now this is our team, and we're kind of building up. Luckily, we have Devin to help us and lead us, kind of how the other ones were.
Yeah, and guys, I think you guys are doing a great job. I mean, you're still young too. You're only juniors, right? So you got one more year, and that's what was kind of, going into the season. I thought, okay, they graduated the 4 pitchers, which is always a tough. It's lost, right? Because they're a big part So losing the 4 pitchers was obviously a huge loss. And then you lose a couple of other players that you're not anticipating last year you're going to lose, right? But that's what that I think stuff like that makes the team stronger. You got to see who actually are your leaders, and you guys are doing a great job. I mean, you guys you started the season at the Sinton tournament. I told Coach Elizondo, you put these guys in some pretty tough tournaments, right? But there's a plan, I'm sure, to get you guys ready. And looking at this district and the way you guys have played, I know you lost to Beeville by 1. It could have gone either way. The next game's going to be good, but you guys are winning. You're hitting. Your pitching is coming along really well. So I think you guys are in a great spot right now. And like Gibby said, once you just got to make the playoffs. You guys have some experience there. If you can just get in, you can make some noise there, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out. But I think that the younger guys are getting better. It seems like every game, once they get going with what we have up at the top, I think we're going to be okay, guys. Jordy, I'd like to go to you and ask you a question. I've watched you play since you were a kid. I think you were like in youth, and so you can play football. Obviously, you can play basketball. But baseball to me seems when I watch you play, it comes natural to you. It's just a natural ability. When you watch somebody play, their body language tells you a lot, their movement, the way they throw the ball on the run and stuff. So when I watch you play, I think it just comes natural to you. So I'd have to ask you if baseball is your favorite sport, and did it come natural to you when you were a kid, or did you really have to work at it really hard to get to where you're at now?
Yeah, no, it's definitely my favorite sport, but it somewhat came natural because I grew up in a baseball family with my brother and everything. But no, I definitely had to put in the hard work to get to where I'm at now. It was stressful, long. But yeah, no, it definitely did come natural though, at the same time.
Well, you've got a natural ability. It seems like you got a very high IQ for baseball. And when I watch you play, it just seems like it comes natural. I'm sure you put in the work, obviously, right? Because you got to put in some work to get to where you're at. But when I watch you defensively, it seems like you got a lot of confidence when you're on that field. It seems like whatever comes your way, you're ready for in a split second. And I think you can have natural ability, but you got to have a high IQ when you play these sports. And I think you've got both. And it's just really exciting to see you play and watch you get up there and hit. And it's just been fun watching you play. So I'm glad you're part of our team, man. And I look forward to watching more of your games this year, and definitely watching you your senior year, man. We're doing good. You're doing a great job. Just keep it up. Isaiah, I would ask you, you have been hitting the ball very well. I watched both of you guys play as freshmen, and I went to a tournament, and I thought to myself, wow, these guys are freshmen, and they're winning. They look really impressive. So I thought 3 more years with these guys, they're going to get better. You have gotten better every year, Isaiah. You hit the ball well this year. Early on, you're really driving that ball. You're seeing the ball very well. I would ask you to talk a little bit about the work that you put in. I see some of the stuff that you post, obviously, to get to this level. You're putting in the work. Talk a little bit about the work that you put in day in and day out, right, to get to where you're at now. Where, and I'm talking about more offensively, because you're seeing the ball well, and it looks like you got a lot of confidence this year. And when you get a hold of that ball, you get a hold of that ball. And I see the excitement when you hit a double or a triple.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work. Just my first 2 years, first year I didn't have any doubles, triples, or home runs, and last year I had a few, but getting bigger, faster, stronger is the main thing. Because I'd always seen the ball well. I just didn't hit it hard enough to show for it.
Well, keep doing what you're doing, because obviously, and the thing is, like I was telling Jordy, you watch him play, right? He's just a natural ability. He's got a lot. He plays with a lot of confidence when he plays. You can see it, and you're seeing that too from you now. When you get up, when you used to come up, I told your dad when I had him on the podcast, it would be almost like, oh God, we got to get a hit to get him in. And then when bases are loaded, or you got runners on second and third, and they call out number 2, Isaiah Elizondo, it's almost like, yeah, we're going to get that hit, man. We're going to get that single. We're going to get these runs in. Hard work is paying off for you, young man. I mean, you're doing an awesome job. And I think it's only going to get better for you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you play the rest of this year and next year, man. Keep it up, man. Stay in that weight room. Continue to get stronger and faster. Sky's the limit for you.
Thank you.
Jordan, I'll ask you. You had an injury, obviously, in football, right? And when I talked to your coach, they were bringing you in slowly. And when I actually did the podcast last week, he said, "Man, he's ready to go 100%." How are you feeling with that injury? And are you ready to go 100%?
Yes. No, I'm definitely ready to go 100%. Go all out for everything. It was definitely a depressing time with that, where I couldn't play baseball for the first part, where just none of it felt natural anymore. Had to completely change my arm slot, throwing, just all of that. But I'm now worked into it, and I am definitely ready to go 100%.
Glad to hear that, because I know that was a concern we talked about off air, right? Is how is this going to affect? We saw the injury, so how is it going to affect him in baseball? And then I saw that you were DHing, so I wasn't sure. I said, "Oh man, well he's playing, but he's probably not 100%." But when I talked to your coach last week, he said, "No, he's ready to go." So I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're feeling a lot better, and let's go out there and let's win some games, right, and get in the playoffs, guys. Isaiah, you are the utility guy, right? According to coach, you're utility number one, right? So you have played pretty much all over the field, right? You played first base, you played third base, you're catcher now, and you've pitched also. So I would imagine for a coach that's a dream to be able to have one or two utility guys that can just play anywhere at any given time. So I'm going to ask you, is there any position on this baseball field that you cannot play? And how hard is it, Isaiah, for you to, just because you got to you're succeeding too. It's not like you're just playing. You're playing at a high level in these positions. How hard is it for you to prepare yourself, mentally and physically to play all of these positions?
Honestly, I don't think there's anywhere that I can't play. Just maybe my ego talking a little bit. But
that's okay.
Luckily I was gifted raising up and growing up, and it wasn't nowhere is really too difficult for me to play. I kind of grew up playing every single position, and so I moved around the field a lot, and it just stayed with me and stuck. So I'm still able to play anywhere that coach puts me.
Joe, let me ask you this though: the positions, right? Like catcher and third base and first base. You play them. What's it like when you're asked to pitch? Because you don't pitch every game, right? You're not on a rotation or anything. But Coach Elizondo has said, "Hey, I know that in a certain situation, if I need to get him in there for 2-3 innings, I know he's not going to run from the moment." How do you prepare yourself for that? Because I think that's a little harder than playing the other positions, right? Because you got to get in there. Do you warm up? Do you stay? Do you pitch during your time? Like when you're practicing, do you keep yourself where you go out there and pitch just in case your number's called, you're ready to go? How does all that work?
Yes, sir. We do. I do throw bullpens with the during practices most of the time, but I love pitching. I'm able to control I feel like I'm able to control the game more, and I love having the ball in my hands and the ball in my court, and that's something that I really enjoy. Even though I don't pitch very often, I do enjoy it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think for Coach Elizondo to have, and he said he's got you as a utility player, right? Number one, and then Sean Howe as well. I think when coaches have guys like that, it's very helpful for a coach, right? Because you just never know where you're going to need someone. Injuries occur, obviously, in this game, right? So to be able to have a few guys that can just at a moment's notice, right, get in there and play or whatever is good. So I'm glad that you can get in there and play all of these positions. And you did say, right, that there's not a position that you can't play, right? You can play all the outfield, catcher, and all the infield, right?
Absolutely.
There you go. That's what I like to hear. All right, Jordy. I was at the West Oso game. You had a great game, right? I think you went 2 for 4. I believe you had one scored run. You had 3 RBIs in that big win over West Coast. So just kind of talk a little bit about that game, because it seemed like you were feeling it on that night.
Well, all it comes down to is putting the ball in play. Make them make the plays. You just do what you do. Make them do everything on their own. Put the pressure on them early, which we did. That's all it comes down to. Just put the ball in play. No strikeouts. None of that. Just make them make the plays.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That sounds exactly, and I hear coaches say that all the time when you're out there. Just put the ball in play. Don't strike out. Make them make a play. And that's exactly what you guys are doing now. And like I said, it's just great. I think the hitting, you're seeing a lot of the younger guys. A lot of the guys, I don't think they were on the squad last year. If they were, I don't remember them. But you got a lot of young names that have to come up big for you guys, and you're seeing them getting some hits. This last game, we saw Sean Howe have a big game over Calhoun, got those 2 big hits, got some runs in. That's the bottom of the lineup, I believe. So, when it's Jordy and then it's Smith and it's Phillips and Elizondo, the top of the order, you definitely can get on right. But when you get that middle and that bottom of the lineup hitting like that, we're going to win a lot of ball games, guys. So absolutely put the ball in play, make the defense make a play, and that suits well for the Pirates. Isaiah, I'll ask, I had your dad on. We talked a little bit about his 100th win. Obviously, it was special for him. It's something that I know they don't talk a lot about, but in the back of your mind, you're keeping count. So he got it here at home in the tournament. I saw the pictures and the photos that he took with his family, his coaches, the rest of the players. How special was it for you to be part of the team where your dad got his 100th win?
Oh yeah, it was very special. The week before at the Sinton tournament, we went through a lot trying to figure out how many wins he was away, and because we didn't know if we were only 1 away, because we had a game that day. We didn't know if we were 1 away or 2 or 3 or 4. We didn't really know how many we were after. And it took us probably 30, 45 minutes in between games trying to figure out how many wins he needed to reach 100. Then we knew that the next week we could win 2 and win it at home, and that would be pretty special under the lights, especially too.
Yeah, it was really special for him. I'm glad he got the 100th win. I told him hopefully when 200 comes around, he'll get it here as the head coach of the Pirates. But he also said that it was your mom's birthday as well on that day, so it was extra special for him. And I was glad to see him get his 100th win. Now that we know, where is he at right now? Is that 102, 3? Where is he at right now?
Oh gosh.
I'm going to have to text him and find out, because I want to keep track of it now. Now that we know, I can keep track of it now. Before, I don't want to lose track of it. So obviously it was great for him and for the family. I'm glad that he was able to celebrate it with everybody there on the field here in Rockport. Guys, I'll ask you 2 more questions and then I'll let you guys go. Just the Sinton game. This district is very competitive. We see it with Beeville this year. Calhoun obviously was very competitive. Sinton, Rockport-Fulton. I think those are the 4 top teams just off my mind that I think is very competitive. But talk a little bit about the Sinton game. You're playing a team that won state last year. They could win the state again this year. They're number 1. Jordy, I'll go to you first. Just your thoughts on, you play them twice a year. What's it like for a player to play a team like that? Because I would think that even if you lose, you can learn a lot from playing guys like that. So can you talk a little bit just about your game against them this first go around?
No, going into it, there's not really any pressure. Everybody's expecting us to lose. Everybody's expecting whatever. Kind of flush that. You go out, you play baseball. Things roll your way. Baseball's a weird game. They're a well-coached baseball team. They're a good baseball team, but everybody can be beat.
Absolutely.
Really pressure going into it.
Absolutely. And I'll remind you guys that last year they beat you guys 1-0 at their house, right? Like I watched that game. I watched Carson Flores pitch that game. I think it was last year. And like you're right. It's any given moment, right? And for me, when I can play teams like that, for me, it always brought my A game. I played better when I had to play the best, right? Because that's where you want to shine. That's where I'm ready to go. Isaiah, I'll ask you, to give me your thoughts on that game. You played them there. You got them coming, I believe, April 4th here at home. Just your thoughts on that first game this year against Sinton.
Well, obviously, we didn't get the outcome we wanted, but it was a very good learning experience, especially for the young guys. We saw who hit, we saw who did well, and those young guys got to play Sinton for the first time. And it's like, well, this is a whole new level of team and level of expectation that we want to obviously reach. Being with them being the number one team in the state, that's something that everyone strives to be. So that's something like that's kind of you see their level of competitiveness, their level of how they play the game. That's kind of what you want to reach as a team. And so you can obviously see and kind of feed off of that, even though you're losing. And obviously, Sean pitched his butt off. Sean had 11 strikeouts through 5 innings. And, I mean, that's pretty insane considering the number one team in the state.
It is, guys. It is. And I like I said, man, you go in there and you don't, number one doesn't really, just another team, right? You go in there and you play. I would ask you, Isaiah and Jordy, to get your thoughts on Sean Howe, your pitcher, a sophomore, who there's a lot of hype, right, around this kid. People talk about him. I hear it. And, what he can do here through his high school career. So I'll ask you, Isaiah, first, then I'll go to Jordy. Give me your thoughts. You see this guy. We only see him on the field, right, game day. But you guys, you see the preparation. You see what he goes through. You see him in the weight room. You see him in school. You guys see the work that this young man puts in. I'll ask you to give me your thoughts on the sophomore Sean Howe, how he prepares for the game, and just the way he's pitched, because he's had 11 against Sinton. I think he had 9 against Calhoun and 9 against Westo. So these are strikeouts. So he's getting a lot of strikeouts. Isaiah, I'll go to you first. Just give me your thoughts on this young pitcher.
Yeah, he's a very hardworking guy, power lifter, loves to lift. Obviously, I grew up with him. I've always kind of been his catcher. And so catching him is very special. We kind of have that connection there, and we work together. And it's something awesome to see from the catcher's perspective of how he works and what he does. And I love being his catcher and being able to catch him. And I'm pretty sure he's 11th in the state right now in strikeouts.
Wow. Jordy, I'll ask you the same question, but I just wanted to kind of throw in there, when I watched him pitch twice. I watched him last year pitch a little bit, but I watched him this year twice. It seems to me, Jordy, that he gets into a rhythm, once and you watch him, when you throw the ball back to him, he doesn't walk around him. He gets in his motion right away and he pitches it right. Doesn't take a lot of time. And I think that's just the rhythm he's in. I guess he feels he's getting himself into a rhythm and he wants to keep that rhythm. But when he gets going, man, it is tough. He just looks really good on the mound. So I'll ask you to kind of give us your thoughts on what you see. This kid gets on the mound, he's dangerous.
Yeah, no, I love the guy. He works at his own pace. He controls the game very well. Everything he does is at his pace. No one else's. He's got the fastball that he can blow by someone. He's got good stuff to go with it. We're all very comfortable when he's on the mound.
And guys, I would say this to you guys, right? He's only a sophomore. That's the incredible thing. That's what's impressive to me, right? Like here on the Pirates Cove podcast, right? We follow the teams. That's what we do. But we want to expose, we want to show the rest of the state, right? In South Texas, what we've got, right? So we go the extra mile for our kids that have a big game. We try to stay up with everything so that we can go ahead and talk about on the podcast, bring them on, anybody. We want to be able to show the talent that we have here in our community, right? This kid's only a sophomore. If he continues to work at the pace and puts in the time. I mean, where is he going to be when he graduates? It's amazing. And so to be able to be a part, you guys to be his teammates and watch it every day, for the coach to see it, and for the fans to be able to come out and see this young kid pitch, man, it's great. So I would say, come on out, Pirate fans. They'll be in Ingleside, I believe, tomorrow. I believe I'm telling you that correctly. Now, I won't be there to live stream it because I'm going to live stream the Lady Pirate softball game. But please come on out. It's a 30-minute drive here from Rockport. Come out, support your Rockport-Fulton Pirates. There's a lot of talent. We're talking about obviously the pitcher, right? And we're talking about these two gentlemen, but there's a lot more talent. This is a very talented young team. Please come on out, support these guys. Come out at home and watch them. You won't be disappointed. But 30 minutes away, most of the games are just about 30 minutes away. Come on out, support your Rockport-Fulton Pirate baseball. A lot of talent. We're going to be good for many, many years, right? Guys, I have one final question for you, then I'll let you go. And it'll be about your expectations for 2023. You guys have talked about losing some players to graduation. You've also talked about losing some of your players to going to other schools. This is a very young team, but it's got some good leadership. So, Isaiah, I'll go to you first. Your expectations for 2023.
Obviously, what Gibby said is you make the playoffs is the first thing the first step. Anything can happen after that, but obviously we have higher expectations. Last year we were the 2 seed. The year before we were the 3 seed because we lost to Calhoun twice. And this year we have a good chance to be the 2 seed again, but right now we're tied for 4th because we did lose the game to Beeville. We all know that we will jump back into the 2 seed and we will beat Beeville the second time around. But we have high confidence. I mean, especially now that we won a very intense game against Port Lavaca, and we're gonna win as long as we stop leaving runners on. We know our expectations are high. We want to win games, and we're not supposed to we're not gonna lay down and let anybody beat us.
You know, one thing your dad says as a coach is we're gonna fight to the end, and you do see that from this team. You fight to the end, no matter what the score is. I mean, I'll take you right back before I go to Jordy. I'll take you back to that playoff game 2 years ago when you guys lost in the first round. I mean, you almost came back. I was at that game. I mean, I think it was like 11-2 or something, and all of us it's like 11-8, and I'm like, oh, here they come, and it just kept going. You know, they changed pitches, and we were scoring. And at that moment, I thought to myself, this is the team that's going to fight to the end. And talking to your dad, the coach here, he said, you know, we will fight. We will fight to the end. And you see that from you guys. And all a fan can ask for is to go out there and give it all you got, right? You win some, you lose some. Obviously, this team has a lot of fight. But I'm excited, guys, about you guys coming back next year, about this year. And then you're seeing the young guys. There's another pitcher I saw, Oakman. I can't remember his first name. He was really impressive coming in against Calhoun, taking Sean out, bringing in a freshman in a situation like that, and he retired the side, right, and give up a run. So when you look at that, these guys are growing up, man, right in front of you. It is awesome to see where we've been, where we're at right now, and where this team is going to go. Jordy, I'll ask you your expectations for 2023.
Going off of what Isaiah said, there's not much to it. You got to win the big games. Got to hit the ball, got to pitch, and we have everything capable of doing that. So we'll fight for that 2 seed, and excuse my language. I know we'll get the 2 seed, and we'll make a run in the playoffs.
Hey guys, I'm going to be at that Sinton game, man. Listen, I know Sinton's good, but I saw you guys lose 1-0, and I'm sure that was shocking to a lot of people. But you're right, Jordy. Anything can happen on any given day. We've got hitters. We've got a pitcher, Kyle pitches too, I think, right? Kyle Novak. So you got Kyle with a lot of experience. We hope to bring him on next year on the coach to talk to him. But you've got Sean, and so you got a 1-2, right? A 1-1, 1A, 1B, however you want to see it. Then you got some young guys, and we got some hitters. So definitely we're looking to get the 2 seed. But guys, I'm still thinking we can compete with Sinton, guys. I mean, listen, we're gonna play tough. I know they're a tough team to beat, but we're good too, and anything can happen. So definitely we got some high expectations here. You're hearing it from two of our juniors here, Isaiah Elizondo, Jordan Gibson. Come on out. Like I said, they're going to be playing tomorrow night in Ingleside. It's to be a district game. I won't be live streaming their game tomorrow. I'll be live streaming the Lady Pirates, but then I'll be back when they come home and you can catch the live stream. But we'd rather have you guys at the baseball field here supporting these guys. But if you can't make it, definitely support them through the GT sports stream. So definitely, guys, thank you for coming on. I look to have both of you guys come back on once we settle the playoff. Hopefully we'll be in there. And right before we get into playoffs, I'm going to send you guys a message to have both of you guys back, maybe even with your two pitchers, Sean and Kyle. Guys, I'll leave you guys with your final thoughts. Jordan, I'll go to you first. Anything you want to add, man, before we call it a night?
No, I think we pretty much covered all of it.
Thank you for coming on, sir. I appreciate it. And where can I get a cap like that, Jordy? Do y'all sell those, or is that? I mean, because I seen Coach. I mean, is that something that's for the fans, or is it just for the players? I like it.
I'm sure you could ask my dad, and they can get you one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pay for it. But I saw when Jordan came out, I said, man, I love that cap. I want one, you know. So I don't know if they sell it out there, but I said I'm gonna ask anyway, man. I love it. It looks nice. Isaiah, final thoughts, man, before we call it a night.
No, thank you for having me on.
Hey, thank you, guys. Good luck tomorrow, man. Like I said, I'll be in Ingleside, but I'll be with the ladies. But as soon as you guys come back home, I'll be right back up there in the press box. You can catch the live stream through GT Sports, but we'd rather have you at the baseball field. Come out, support the Rockport-Fulton Pirates baseball team. Young team, a lot of talent. You won't be disappointed when you come out and see them. Guys, thank you very much. Good luck once again, and I look forward to bringing you guys back on the Pirates Cove podcast before the season ends. Have a great night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.